r/AskReddit by Redmond Dts. What's something the Ukraine war has made us forget? None of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's clients have been brought to justice. How much the World Cup in Qatar sucks. Syria. You forgot about Afghanistan and Iraq. Siege of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, with all the kids begging the US for help as they resisted against their government. Everyone insta forgot. The conflict in Ethiopia. It's still going. COVID-19. I forgot COVID was a thing until I went to the hospital today, and they asked if I could wear a mask, and I was like, oh crap, forgot that was still a thing. Is it me, or are the Olympics and World Cup games not as hyped as they once were? It used to be a big deal back in the day. Family and friends huddled round the TV. Now when I mention it, it's a shrug or oh. That we were all involved in funding this war in last 8 years. Russian oil and gas. For God's sake, there was even a World Cup 2018 happening in Russia. China's genocide in Xinjiang. Edit. The belief or notion that Russia has large, deadly and capable military comparable to that of most NATO forces. Strangely, that the former president of the United States tried to extort fake political capital by denying military aid to Ukraine, and the hostility towards Ukraine emboldened Putin. That Russian civilians are still people and don't deserve to be murdered because their government wanted a war. Australia burned to the ground. Not at the moment. We are about to be underwater instead. Saudi-backed Yemen war causing millions of Yemeni to starve to death, yet not a peep from Western governments. Hell, Germany just approved sending more arms to Saudi Arabia to keep the war going. That war is a money-making scheme that usually has America in the center of it. Rule of acquisition 34. War is good for business. How that Congress can never agree to give Americans anything. But the second a war breaks out overseas, they start dumping $12 billion like it's candy. What it's like to pay a decent price for gas. That not all Russians are evil. That NATO is not a good organization. That there are actual neo-Nazi problems in Ukraine. And most countries, to be honest, including Russia. That we are not immune to propaganda. The $3 trillion that was wasted on Afghanistan and Iraq. That climate change poses a far greater existential threat to humanity and the planet than wars. And that the urgency to address it is stark. This doesn't minimize the horror of war and an invasion. Reading through this thread, you have to wonder who exactly is forgetting all these subjects. There's so much happening in the world. It's impossible to keep track of everything at once. This thread is just a collection of suggestions. I personally do still follow certain events, but I must admit I forgot about some too. It's just so difficult when you're being bombarded, no pun intended, with news about the Ukraine war. Often it's the news outlets who choose for us what to remember and what to forget. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.